Hello everybody, it's Wendy, and today I'm going to attempt to do a new craft room tour. So I've had a lot of requests for this video, and I've got this on my floor tripod, and I'm trying to carry it around in case I need to set it down. So we're going to give it a try, but I'm not sure how well this is going to work, and for all of you who get motion sick, I'm really trying to be very careful, but this is the only way I know to do it. You have to walk around. So my craft room is above our garage. It's the bonus room and it is upstairs. So when you first walk in, you come up the stairs and this is what you see. So this is a table that my mom bought me from Michael's for Christmas this year. And let me back up here. It has made my life. There's the attic to the access to the attic. And I have a bunch of storage stuff in there. You're not even supposed to put stuff in there, but I did. So anyway, this table my mom got me from Michael's. I love this thing. So it has my light box on it and all the props that I use for taking pictures. So there's, drawers in there, and there's paper in the drawers. There is, let's see, what all's in these drawers? Let's look and see. These came out of a watch case, a thing to store watches in, but I thought they're perfect for taking pictures of bracelets. So those are in there. I've got, just different props, earring backs, the Eiffel Tower, a flower, some earring cards, just whatever I might need to use to take pictures are in that one. This one's empty right now, which is a miracle in this room. This is paper. I use paper for backgrounds a lot. It's perfect for backgrounds for pictures. There's another empty drawer. This one has all of my mailing bags in it that I mail products from my website out in. And this is the little bubble wrapper bags that I use. Over there is another container that has picture taking props and the backgrounds for my light box. The printer is here with its paper. And then up on the top there are some other props, and then there's the light box. And so this table has been really great for that. I mean, it's just been perfect for getting all that organized, and I love it. Then I have my computer desk over here. So I've got some notebooks there. There's my coffee and water. I've got some notebooks there that I take notes on as I'm looking through YouTube, like comments people leave, I need to respond to, stuff like that. Down there is a lot of jewelry that needs to be uploaded to my website. So if anybody wants to come and do that for me, it'd be much appreciated. This is my computer desk here, and this little stand I love to put the monitor on. This little thing holds your cell phone, and then it's got some drawers for just pens and pencils and stuff, and a calculator and glasses. I keep everybody's business cards in there that gives them to me. So that's my computer. And then over here, this is kind of the shipping table. So there are some pictures of Logan and Landon up there, and one of my grandma and me when I was little. I don't know why that's there. I just had it and stuck it up there. But this is my shipping center. So this is extra paper here. Like when I cut the shipping labels out, I keep all that scrap paper. We've got tape, my business stamp, scissor sharpener, scissors, little dustpan thingy. And those are scales down there in the tray that you can put small items in and that they don't spill everywhere. There are organza baggies, which I use a gazillion of. There are my free gifts that I give away on the website. Down there are some extra little things like little stickers and cards that I sometimes use. This container has all of the little Ziploc baggies. And then these are products here. These are all products that I sell on the website. So spacer beads, jump rings, wire guards back there, okay? And those aren't that's not my personal stuff. That's stuff that I sell on the website. And I just have it sitting there mainly because it has to be weighed out. Those things have to be weighed. The majority of my, spin around there, the majority of my store stuff is over here. So all of this is stuff that I sell on the website. All these beads that are hanging up there, all these findings, and there's all the chain, okay, and there's a cart that's got stuff in it as well. And then you'll see the cat and dog's beds because they sleep up here. And if you look in Sadie's bed, look at all the bones she's got stored in there. She puts those in there. So those are her bones. The cat has no bones. And then we've got joint toys in the water bowl. And then this closet is horrible. Do not judge me. It's got my robe in there, but boxes, cleaning stuff, cat litter box. Yeah, don't even look in there. It's bad. Okay, so these findings I store in these little bins that go on the pegboard, and I put on the front this little Ziploc baggie showing what is in there, and that helps me to keep it all organized. Everything else is labeled with a number. So right here you can see they're all labeled with numbers written on little baggies because that's the best method I could find. But that's all store stuff. I don't touch that stuff for my own personal use at all. It's all store. So is that. So is this. And Chris made this rack. He used these two boards and put them up there and then strung this rebar or dowels or whatever that is across there. And we put them in little hooks. If you can see the little hook right there. And that makes really great chain storage. Really, really great. Okay, and then that's all like handmade pendants and stuff. All right, so that is that. Now, here's a whole look at the craft room if you want to see the whole thing. It is really, it's the best craft room in the world. I love it. I mean, it may not be organized like everybody thinks it should be, and it's kind of cluttery, but like I said, I love it. It's the best craft room I've ever had. Probably the best one I'll ever have. We're getting ready possibly to move. We may be moving to Florida. So I wanted to do this video to show this craft room. So number one, I would have it for memory. And number two, y'all could see like how things change if I do end up moving. So we'll see. Back behind here, behind these curtains, and I just hung these with the curtain rod. They're just sheer curtains. That's all my personal crafting stuff. So there's like, well, those in those green and blue containers are the lucite flowers I sell on my site. I keep all this stuff kind of close to this table, some of it, but I don't use it for my own personal use. But back in there is everything else. So there's like, that has kids' beads in it, that container. There's the trash can. There are feathers, there's paints, there's all this stuff down in here. Well, down in there, that area is extra storage containers, and I have a ton of them. I'm probably going to get rid of a bunch of them when I move, but you accumulate them over time. So this is all like, there's glues, there's that whole gray bin down on the bottom has storage stuff in it, and then there's all the jewelry that I sell on my website right there in that gray container in Ziploc baggies. It's all labeled. So, you know, any finished jewelry that's up on my website is there. And this is mostly just stuff that I just hide because it's not very pretty. So I came up with that little system of just hooking the shower curtain rods on the top of the shelves and then hanging the curtain. And it's not perfect. You can see in the end right here, but it's okay for me. Okay, then we've got Chris playing the saxophone. There he is. He's an awesome sax player. These are all, there's some bead soup there. This is a thermometer that was my grandmother's that Landon gave me one year for Mother's Day. Those are all little tiny rondelles. That's a 3-tier Lazy Susan. And I have them organized kind of by color. They used to be organized better, but I can kind of find what I need in there. Then I have containers with just beads in them. And Beth got me this. I love it. Dixie turned me on to these beads by this lady that makes these beautiful cane glass beads. So I keep them all in there. And then there's some finished jewelry. Lynn made me this. I love this. I've got another one hanging somewhere. But finished jewelry that I need to do a video of, like a finished jewelry update. There is the paper towel roll. That's very important. And then we have this cart here, and I'm sorry, I keep bumping that with my leg. This is the Jesse James beads tote. This one is. This has all my Jesse James beads that are left over from, like, projects that I haven't used, but I probably will use. So I've got, like, tassels, globes. Everything in here is labeled. These are all by color, but this is all Jesse James beads in that tote. And I had them all in here. But, I don't know, it works better in those. Those are little photo containers. These come in a container. There's like, I don't know, 24 of them in a container, but I love to use them for beads. They're really great for beads. You just label it dark blue, and then stick all your beads in there, and you can see what you've got when you open it up. So that works out really well. Now down in here, I needed to label this, but I haven't done it yet. But I have like cathedral beads. See, I had these out on the shelf, but I just found that there was so much on the shelves, it was overwhelming, and it was cluttery looking, worse than it is now, believe it or not. So I put a bunch of these in here. So these are stars, cathedral beads, jump and split rings, gold stone, and I am going to label this on the front. I just haven't done it. Tree of Life stuff, bracelet and ring blanks, freshwater pearls and cat's eye. And these containers come from the Dollar Tree. Animals, tiger eye, tassels and butterflies. Pre-made dangles, so I end up with a ton of these, like when I'm making something and I have too many, or I take something apart. And bezels. Cubes, all these are cubes. Cracked glass, Millefiori glass. And this is some more, this is Jesse James chain reaction strands and kits that I haven't opened yet. Okay, like little mini bead kits. So they're all down in there. So that is that container full. And you can get those containers at Michael's. They're on sale. They're $29.99. I think normally they're like $70. So I always wait till they put them on sale because that's not a bad price. That container right there is donations. So that's all stuff that I'm donating. I will go through more of this craft room before we move, and possibly if we move for sure, I'm going to have a huge sale on my website and sell everything like that I can possibly sell, so I don't have to pack it and then just start over when we get down in Florida with stock. So all this stuff, let me move this slowly if I can. I'm sorry, guys. All this stuff over here, all that. When we moved here, it about killed me getting all this stuff packed up and moved. I mean, oh my gosh, I don't have near the amount of personal property as I do business property, so I may do a big, huge sale on my website, try to sell as much of it as I can so I don't have to pack it, move it, and then when I get in Florida, just repurchase new stock. That might be what I do. There's my polymer clay oven. Thank you to Lisa, my friend here in Fayetteville, who got that for me. And then, like I said, that's the donation thing. That little thing down there, it was actually a nightstand, but I just have miscellaneous stuff in it. I don't even know what. Okay. Then we move over here to the shelf. This is all, these are glue-on bells, cord ends, ribbon ends, stuff like that. These are all earring findings in there. They're just organized out by what they are, mainly. That's all fire polish, and it needs organized really badly. Those are all bicones over there, and they need organized really badly. Those are drops and briolettes, 2-hole beads, super duos, those kind of things. These are European beads, and these are table cut. And these containers come from the Dollar Tree as well. Actually, almost every container in here comes from the Dollar Tree, except for this came from Harbor Freight, and these come from Harbor Freight. Okay, everything else pretty much is Dollar Tree. Down there, we have metal beads. So, silver metal beads in the white one, gold metal beads in the middle one, and then copper, gunmetal, antique bronze, everything else on the end one. Back in there is some storage of container like stuff that I take when we travel. And then we have the shelves of stuff. Now this is my personal stash, and everybody is always like, oh my gosh, you have so much stuff. Well, I've been doing this for like 12 years and collecting stuff. So when you've been doing it that long, and now it's my livelihood, so yeah, you do accumulate quite a bit of stuff. Especially when you're making a living from it, you kind of have to. So, okay, up here on the top, and I have all these containers. These are from the Dollar Tree, and most of them are labeled. Not all of them, but there's wire up there. Then I have rings, and those are closed rings, not jump rings. They're like decorative rings, you know, like you hook things onto necklaces or whatever. Filigree, leaves and petals, shell, pendant pieces. Then we have hearts and crosses, flowers, toggle clasps, nautical, spacers, in that one, stringing in that one, and then down there on the bottom is all Preciosa, Swarovski, and off-brand crystals and cabochon ones. Okay, and I got a lot of that when I worked for MHR Designs, and she does. Okay, so this over here, these are bead mats, and I'll tell you how I got that many bead mats. Chris bought me a Velux blanket. It has to be Velux brand or it's not the same. Off of Amazon. It was a twin size, and it made like 60 bead mats. I cut it up. So if you want a lot of bead mats and you don't want to pay a lot of money, that's the way to go right there. Buy your Velux blanket, cut it up, and you can make them whatever size you want. A lot of them are bigger. If you can see that one, that's a big one. That's made out of the Velux blanket. And I can make it whatever size I want it to be. It's awesome. Then those right there are chain. So I have chain separated out into antique bronze and copper, gold. The middle one, the little green one right there, is chain that's like got beads on it or is colored or something different, not just a plain metal. And then I have like I don't know, one's gold, one's silver, one's got gunmetal, copper, antique bronze. They're all separated out in there, and I can't remember which one's which, but anyway. These are my project trays, basically. So anytime a company sends me a box, it goes in one of these trays. This is beadingschool.com. That's Jesse James back there. That is finished jewelry that I need to do a video on, and I've got some of that up here too. This is like really current finished jewelry though. This is an AliExpress haul that I need to upload, but I haven't done it yet. I've got curated bead box in one of these, Sam's bead box in one, and bargain bead box in one. Yeah. Okay, so those I separate out by the companies, and then when I want to, like say I have a Jesse James video due, I just grab that tray that's got all my Jesse James current stuff in it that needs a video for it, and I do it. Okay, and I wish it were that easy. And under there is Sebastian. He's taking a nap, and that is a little bed I made because Sadie likes to sit under there and look out the window here and bark at everybody. So he's laying under there right now, but they like that little spot. Okay, under here I have trays. So these are all trays that are like these trays up here that I put projects in, and they're just stored under there. And then I have a bunch of paper and notebooks and stuff like that, office supplies, and these are all receipts. And I know, look at them, they're a mess. I'm clearly not very good at the administrative side of having a business. I've got to go through those receipts. Yes, I do. Okay, so this little owl has all pens and rulers and pencils, that kind of stuff. That little thing right there has my hand drill that I use when I drill polymer clay. Those are Sadie's treats. Those containers back in there are just some extras. I think that one actually has earring backs in it, but there's some extras back in there. This container right here, I know everybody has this and we hate it. This is the I need to put it away container. Oh, I hate that container so bad. There it is. It's full too. This is all other tools like my magnifying thing, a paper cutter, just some tools I don't use real often like my leather punch. This is a thread zap that I need to, no, that's a bead reamer. Yeah, obviously I don't bring too many beads. Yeah, my thread zap broke. I need to get a new one. It doesn't work anymore. There is some inspirational artwork. This is a bead box I'm getting ready to do for Valentine's Day. It's a Valentine's themed box, and it will be on my website closer to Valentine's Day. It's sitting there collecting all of its things that I'm going to have in it. Okay. This box is projects that are just my own projects that I need to do, that I've put out to do, but I haven't done. But they're not for any specific company. They're just me. And then this desk has miscellaneous stuff in it. It's got, this top drawer has my label maker and just stuff. I need to clean this out, don't I? Yeah. Beading needles, stuff like that. This middle drawer has extra head pins where I ordered bulk one time. And then the bottom drawer's got some papers and stuff, labels and that kind of thing in there. Those are seed beads of every shape, size, color, and form. And they are very precariously stacked there. Thank God we don't have earthquakes in North Carolina. If we did, that would be a huge mess. I need to go through it. It's totally not organized. They're all just thrown in there in random ways. And yeah, that's a day. That's a project for a day, right? And then we have this shelf. So I have turquoise, then jade, then jasper, fancy beads, which qualify as non-Jesse James beads that are like from Joann's or whatever. And they're the ones that I make my kits up with. And some Jesse James beads that I bought a long time ago, but I won't use the Jesse James beads that they send me for free to sell, if that makes sense. If I'm going to sell it, I had to buy it. Let me put it that way, okay? Polymer clay beads and clasps. So those are clasps, not toggle clasps or not lobster clasps, because they have their own container. Those are other kinds of clasps that I don't use a lot of. Bead caps, and this is howlite. It's not labeled. Then I've got wooden beads here, frosted glass, charms. Charms container needs cleaned out. Chandeliers, so this is all chandeliers, and then lampwork glass right here. And then on the bottom there is all gemstone beads. I've got a quartz container and an agate, and then others I need to go through because some of them I don't know what they are. There's a bunch of containers back in there like for each kind, like labradorite or lapis. You know, each one has a little thing back in there, but they're not sorted into it, unfortunately. Okay, then up here, these are two of the rolling bead carts, like the one over there, except for these are clear. I wish they'd have had the teal when I bought these. They didn't. But I stacked on top of each other, and it says a new video starting. Okay, I've stacked them on top of each other and zip tied them together. So I wouldn't do that like out in the open, but since it's in that corner, I don't feel like it's going to go anywhere unless we have an earthquake, and then this whole room's in trouble, so it won't matter. But on top of there, I have lava beads. No, yeah, and miscellaneous stuff that I don't know where else to put. And then I have drawers labeled with each color. So we have white, cream, and clear, pink, light blue, orange, red, purple, yellow, dark blue, green, another green, which actually ends up being like lime green versus dark green, if that makes sense. So this drawer has a lot of darker greens in it. This drawer has a lot of lighter greens. So, and then there is silver, black, brown, gold, multi, so anything that's got a bunch of colors mixed in it. I know this camera is moving a lot, and I'm trying, but it's really, really hard to do this without moving it. So these are beads with just like, you know, like I could put that in white, I could put that in blue, and I could put that in black, but I put it in here because, you know, I don't know, they're just multi. So multi beads are in this drawer. And then we start pearls. So I've organized the pearls by color. I don't really have these labeled. They're just all, there's 3 drawers of pearls. And then turquoise and turquoise. 2 drawers of turquoise. So this is more light turquoise. This is more teal. Well, I say that and then you look there and there's that. So maybe not. But anyway, that was the thought in the beginning. And then I have a couple extra shelves there that are not being used anywhere. Then we have store stuff all down this side. So in the middle, I have this big island. So I've created this out of IKEA tables. IKEA tables are super inexpensive, you guys. They are, I think it worked out to be $24 a table, or maybe even less, because you buy the tops and then you buy the legs, which I thought was so strange, but whatever. But yeah, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them in the middle here. I actually had 4, but when my mom bought me the light box thing over there, I put that table over here. So now there's 5. There was 4. And then I have this rolly cart that I've had forever. Okay, so in this rolly cart, there is just some like, I mean, like that bead board, and there's a clipboard that I use if I do macrame some, and I have a macrame board in there. This drawer right here has all the plastic baggies, so when I'm storing, like if I need, these are mainly the ones that have labels on them or something that you can't really reuse, so I do reuse them to store my beads. That's extra storage stuff under there, small storage stuff that I use when I'm like needing to store beads. This in the top has just like a, okay, so this is a cart topper that didn't fit the cart. I bought it the wrong size, so I'm using it here. It kind of slides. And I've got lotion in there. Excuse me. It's candy that people send. Jewelry cleaning stuff. Excuse me, my throat's got a frog now. I did have tools hanging on here, and I'll show you in a minute why I don't have tools hanging on there now. But it worked pretty good for hanging jewelry pliers. Well, pretty good. Every time I bumped it, a bunch fell. But I got this container, I think at Hobby Lobby on sale, and I just loved it. So it's got like a ruler, my ring mandrel, some scissors. These scissors, Logan got me a gift card from Michael's for Christmas. I invested in a good pair of scissors. I've never had a really good pair of scissors. Those are supposed to be awesome, so I won't use them for anything hardly, but I'm afraid to use them and dull them, so there they are in all their glory. Okay, then this is my desk. This is where I do all of my filming. As you can see, there's that tripod, this tripod, and I have a tripod in my hand, so it depends on what I'm doing, which one I use. And here is the tool storage thing that I've got. So this is the reason that my tools are no longer on that. My stepdaughter bought this for Chris, and it is a watch case. You're supposed to store watches in it. It's got these little divided sections, but it's perfect for tools, and Chris doesn't wear watches, so he let me have it. And I'm using, that's what the little black things came from over there that I said are good for putting on bracelets to take pictures. So that's perfect for storing my tools. I love it. I've looked for something forever that I really liked for tool storage, and that I think is my favorite thing so far. So thank you, Rachel. I know you didn't intend it for me, but I'm using it and loving it. Then back in here, I like to store a lot of my stuff in clear containers so I can see it. Okay, so this is a bead mat standing there. These are these Dollar Tree containers that I use for everything. And so I have a bunch of them. These are rhinestone rondelle spacers. These are noodles. These are clamshell covers. And these are oval jump rings. Okay, so I store them in these clear containers. Those containers back there, my dad loves these garlic mushrooms from Kroger's. And he eats like a bazillion of them, so my mom saves the containers for me. That's what those are. These other containers, these right here, come from the Dollar Tree in the catering section. These came from Dollar Tree. It's just, these are my flowers, and these are crimp bead covers. This is my eternal jewelry stuff that keeps it from tarnishing, and that's stuff I've coated in it back there, so I know what's coated and what's not, and these are the little containers I just put it in to coat it. I've got my lamps up there, lots of lamps because I can't see anymore. There is my computer with Pinterest up on the screen, and I look a lot on Pinterest. I don't copy things, but I do get ideas, and so if you're lacking for an idea, you know, I'll just browse through Pinterest and find, you know, you can mesh things together, you can make it your own, but I get a lot of ideas off there. That little thing right there is a magnetic needle holder, and it holds all of my bead weaving needles when I'm in the process of making something. Let me move this chair out of the way. There's my Woodwick candle, or it's not Woodwick brand, but it's Eco Wicks. I love it because it sounds like a fire. I don't know if you could hear it, but it crackles. And so I always have it burning here. I've got the curated bead box out. I'm getting ready to do a video on it. Then this container, I made this. I glued it together. It came from the Dollar Tree. These little drawers are separate. And then that was like a nail polish organizer, jewelry organizer. I glued the whole thing together and made a tower. So I've got head pins in silver, head pins in gold, eye pins in silver, and eye pins in gold, and then just miscellaneous stuff here on the top. But I used so many head and eye pins that I wanted them out where I could get a hold of them easy. And then this is actually just a couple of 3-shelf things that I stacked on top of each other. That right there, that has that in there, is actually a drawer that's turned on its side. See the thing on the side over there? And then this little thing, I think, was in the top of this. It came in this. Or maybe it was in one of those. I'm not sure. But anyway, I make my own. You know, I just take it apart, put it how I want it, or how it works for me. All right, so we have a couple more lights up here, 2 to be exact. And then in here, this is my E6000 tray that's got my glue, the toothpicks I use when I'm gluing and all that. All these little containers here came out of one of those drawer things like I showed you from Harbor Freight over there, the black one. And I've got all of my head and eye pins in there. This tray, I don't know where the tray came from, but these little containers come from the Container Store. And I've just got different things in them, like earring findings in here, just a mix of them, just in case I need to grab one quick. These are spacer beads, a whole big mix. These are bead caps, wire guards. These are my bead bugs. These are silver spacer beads, specifically. These are oval jump rings, and these are little clear beads that I use a lot of times, I don't know, when I need a spacer or something like that. And that stays in there, just like that. Then I have tape. I have ball head pins in this container. And I don't know where these containers came from, but I love to store and clear stuff so I can see it. These are crimp beads, lobster clasps. Here's my little encouraging cards that I use in my videos. And down there is all jump rings. So I've got a big container for gold, a big container for silver, and then all the others are in these smaller containers. Okay? And I do mix stuff together a lot. Like all my gold jump rings are in there. And that causes some people anxiety, but for me, it's easy because I can just pick it up and sort through it and get what I need. There's another trash can, and there are my glasses, which are actually hooked to the table like they do at the bank. See that little hook right there? Because if I don't do that, I can never find them. That's a dehumidifier that helps with things not to tarnish. This table right here is normally the resin table, but I have a project out on it right now, so it's not the resin table. It is the project that I'm doing table. Let me go up and around. I'm sorry. I got to go over this chair. And then we'll get a little more stable view. Okay. So that's what that is. That is a project in process right now. And I'll tell you what it is. I've been making some wood earrings. Okay, so that's what these are. I did these wood earrings, but I'm going to do dominoes. You decoupage on the dominoes and then glue magnets on the back, and they make great little magnets for a fridge. And I'm going to give them away on my website for people that order. This is all alcohol inks, paints, patinas, paintbrushes. So all these, this is the polymer clay table over here. See my polymer clay pasta machine? This is the resin table. Okay, so I have a lamp for my resin and a lamp for my polymer clay to bake things. And back and forth across this table. So I'll use those paints in both things, both mediums. Underneath here, I have a storage container. There it is. And it's got just tons of resin stuff in it, like sanding paper and just everything you need with resin. On the other side is one with polymer clay stuff in it. This table has the cat's bowl because if we leave that down on the floor, Sadie eats all of her food, or his food. Sharpies, I use them all the time. These are unfinished resin pieces that I need to get finished to get up on my website or whatever. That's resin stuff right there. Underneath there is the step stool because I'm short. I can't reach anything. And under here is the polymer clay stuff I was talking about. So there it is. And then another dreaded container right there is the I need to take that apart container. Oh, and then once it goes from the I need to take it apart up to the I need to put it away. So those two are in cahoots and I hate them both. There's another candle and another light. There's lights everywhere in here. So Chris bought me this light, that light right there, and I have another one of those over here, and they hang from the ceiling because I can't see, you guys. My eyes are terrible. So I've got to have a ton of light. But anyway, that's it. So that is the majority of the craft room. Now underneath this table right here, I have extra stuff, like extra, well, there's a file box that's got important papers in it. But then there's bubble wrap and organza baggies and extra stuff to make the little gift baggies for my website, which are right there. So that's pretty much it, guys. I'm sorry if the camera was moving a lot. Like I said, it's kind of hard to do this without moving. But that's how I store everything. That's the craft room in North Carolina. I absolutely love this craft room. So it's going to take something major to make me want to move. We'll see. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it's helpful for you and gives you some ideas or something. Yeah, and so if you haven't checked out my website, please check it out. There's all kinds of great stuff on there. Here it all is. It's all there. Yeah. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.